Hello everyone and happy Friday. Before we share my analysis from these last few days, please remember that neither I nor the SIMETRI team from Crypto Briefing are licensed financial advisors. What we provide is not a personalized investment advice. It is merely our opinions based on our various research and diligence. As always, do your own research before making any decisions about buying or selling crypto.
So probably best that we look at the technicals for Bitcoin and try to find out where it could go to next. So the 45,000 level is a key downside level that the market has yet to break. If we were to move underneath there, I'd expect a quick test towards the 42,000 level. The key monthly pivot point, 53.2, we got close to there, but we were unable to break it as we move towards the 52,000 level. Obviously, the key weekly pivot point for Bitcoin is 50,000. I think that's a psychological marker in the market. I wouldn't rule out a final test back towards there in the early days of January and a potential rejection. Overall, the key downside targets for me moving into the next couple of weeks will be 42,000 and 37,600. Daily closes below the 48.4 level. I would say that's a bearish signal in the market, and I'll show you why in a moment. So let's get to the technicals for Bitcoin. So if we have a look now at this daily chart using the Ichimoku indicator, I'm going to show you a number of sell signals in the market. So if we have a look at this lagging line here in green, this is really the confirmation that the market is going to be moving into a multi-week downtrend. So once that crosses underneath the cloud, that's normally the confirmation signal after the price has already broken underneath the cloud. So we can see all the time that the green line is trading underneath there. That's the confirmation signal that we need. And also this failed attempt back towards the Ichimoku cloud this week is not a good sign. And we're underneath both the standard line here and the moving average crossover is underway again. So overall, over the medium term, that's not a great sign. If we have a look at the 4-hour time frame, we're testing towards this key trend line here, and also we can see the lagging line is just moving towards the cloud there, and we've had a moving average or the crossover there, and we've had to move underneath the cloud. So I would suggest keep an eye on the 47.7 level over the next few weeks or days. And if we continue to trade beneath there, I think we could easily test towards the 42,000 level at some point. If we have a look at a slightly longer term picture, we can see that things are getting very interesting for Bitcoin. So we can see on the weekly time frame, we can see that a lagging line is not issuing any type of sell signal. So what I think might happen if we continue to drift lower and test towards the Ichimoku cloud here, I think the lagging line is probably going to do a test of the cloud. And often you can see here after a strong and powerful uptrend, previous history has told us that once this lagging line does do a first test, then we can see a sharp bounce. And maybe this could correlate with Bitcoin testing towards the bottom of the Ichimoku cloud. So this has historically been an area where the market would bounce from. So it does make sense. And we can see that the market during various pullbacks has tested towards the cloud a few times, but it hasn't been able to get underneath there. So if we do see some early year weakness, I think it makes a lot of sense that we test towards that 37,000 area, maybe get some type of bounce, but overall keep your eye on the lagging line as a confirmation of a breakdown. And just providing some general analysis of what we've been looking at over the last few weeks, we can see this head and shoulders pattern here is starting to develop. And I think the key point to know is the 200-day moving average. We're starting to weaken underneath there. So if we see continued weakness and this rejection lasts, then watch out for a drift towards the 37,000 area. And obviously for this much larger confirmation of this bearish pattern, and then maybe a test towards the lows of the summer if we were to see some weakness underneath 37,000. So what might be a possible scenario is if we see the market testing towards 37,000, the bottom of that cloud, and move back up to 42,000, then a rejection, and we test towards the summer lows, and that will probably be the defining moment of 2022 if that scenario happens and we continue to see weakness in Bitcoin over the next few weeks or so or months. Okay, so overall, the rejection from the 52,000 level, it still has legs to run a lot lower. The Ichimoku indicator on the 4-hour time frame, the sell signal is approaching under 47.7. So if that holds, then we're likely to see another bout of weakness in the short term, and that could accelerate towards a test of 45,000. The Ichimoku daily time frame sell signal is on, but not on the weekly time frame. selling rallies back towards the 55,000 level and targeting below 40,000 is probably, I would say, going to be the smartest play at the moment if you're not already short Bitcoin. So let's have a look at Ethereum now and the technicals that are going on. So if we bear in mind what we've just looked at and where Bitcoin is trading, it's in an equally, I would say, difficult position for Ethereum, in that it's trading underneath the cloud. We've got a crossover sell signal underneath, and also the lagging line is just starting to give confirmation that we're going to see a trend a trend change in the market. So if that continues to hold and we see weakness around this area, then I think it makes sense that Ethereum tests towards the 3.6 level. If it breaks underneath there, then we can see a lot more weakness in Ethereum. And on the lower time frames, if it holds underneath 38,000, I would say 3,800 rather, I would say that we can see some significant weakness going forward, and definitely a test towards this key trend line area that Ethereum has been unable to bounce. So over here we can see the long-term trend line resistance coming into play. And we can see the final line of resistance there around the 3.6 area. So if we were to break underneath there, we could easily start to test towards that 3,000 level and possibly lower. And again, similar to Bitcoin, we can see a test of the summer lows there around 2,800. And that would be the defining moment in the first few weeks or months of 2022, if that were to happen. So keep an eye on a break underneath 3.6, and bear in mind what I'm saying about these tentative sell signs that are starting to happen for Ethereum. And if we have a look on a slightly longer term basis, things look very positive. We're a long way from the cloud on the weekly time frame having any type of crossover, but we are moving underneath the trend line. So I think price could, for the first time during this big uptrend, go and test towards the cloud. And often when you see the cloud starting to widen, it signals that the risk of a reversal in the market is greater. So I think we could test towards this blue line here and also the bottom of the cloud, and that's just coming in around about 2,500. So that's a long way for now, but I think the interim target on the weekly time frame would be around 3.3. But do bear in mind all the technicals that I'm showing you, and also that the lagging line is starting to cross down, and we can maybe move towards these lines here. Okay, so overall, Ethereum has tested towards the top of the Ichimoku cloud and been rejected. A loss of the recent monthly low could trigger heavy losses. Selling back towards the 3.9 to 4,000 area is attractive at the moment, considering that Ethereum has been a sell on rallies. A move back towards the summer lows seems plausible if we see a breakout under 3,600, and only a move back above the 4,400 level could change the overall technical outlook over the medium term for Ethereum.
And thank you. I hope you found my thoughts helpful. If you'd like more, please click the subscribe button for Pro BTC Trader and join me every week on Wednesdays for our live trading war room and daily email updates.